Samsung's Galaxy Z Flip 3 had plenty of improvements over the original Z Flip. It had a bigger cover display which was a bit more practical, an IPX8 rating and a revamped design along with top-tier performance. However, it fell quite short on battery life and the cover display ended up only being useful for viewing notifications. The new Galaxy Z Flip 4 in contrast isn't an overhaul in terms of design, but has received minor improvements when it comes to both software and hardware. Will this be enough to warrant its higher price tag this year? And do these make it practical enough to be used every day? Let's find out. Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 4 comes with a bumped up price tag this year despite minimal hardware changes. The Z Flip 4 now starts from Rs 89,999 for the base model with 8GB of RAM and 128GB of storage, and that goes up to Rs 94,999 for the 256GB storage variant. There's also the Bespoke edition that is available at Rs 97,999. The standard phone is available in 3 finishes: Bora Purple, Graphite and Pink Gold. What you see in this video is the Bora Purple finish. The differences between the Galaxy Z Flip 4 and the previous Z Flip 3 are quite minor, and it takes a trained eye to spot most of them. The metal frame of the smartphone is less rounded with flatter sides and more defined edges. The frame is also polished instead of matte, which makes this phone less slippery than the Z Flip 3. The glass panels have a soft matte finish which does a good job of resisting fingerprints. The metal frame of the rear panels around the hinge has grown noticeably thinner, giving it a more refined appearance. The cameras appear a bit raised from the surface, which does not let the phone rest flat on a table. The hinge seems to have been improved in the sense that it reportedly takes up less space inside the smartphone, which lets Samsung's engineers squeeze in a bigger battery. The hinge also seems a bit more rigid, which is a good thing when it comes to gaming, as the old Flip 3 often folded inwards when the little pressure was applied towards the center of the main display. This also means that it's a little more difficult to open and shut this phone with one hand. While it is commendable that Samsung still manages to offer an IPX8 rating with its Galaxy Z Flip 4, this phone is still vulnerable to dust, which are problems that the brand has not managed to solve on both of its foldables this year. The inner display is still quite delicate and needs a pre-applied screen protector to prevent damage from nails and sharp objects. The 6.7-inch 120Hz foldable dynamic AMOLED 2X inner display appears unchanged, but the groove around the hinge area definitely feels less shallow than on the Z Flip 3. This display works perfectly well indoors and outdoors, even against bright sunlight. The display also supports HDR10+, which worked as expected while viewing supported content on Netflix and Amazon Prime. The outer 1.9-inch cover display also remains similar in size and appearance as on the Z Flip 3. The phone runs Samsung's One UI version 4.1.1, which is based on Android 12. The software experience was quite smooth and surprisingly fluid. There aren't any big changes here compared to what is already available on Samsung's other premium smartphones. The optimizations that arrived with the Z Flip 3 are still available, including the ability to open up to 5 apps as floating windows. Samsung has introduced Flex Mode, which basically lets an app place its content on the top half of the display, while the bottom half can be used as a touchpad or to show controls, among other things. This wasn't always useful on the Z Flip 4, since you're left with a smaller squarish screen area. While the cover display's size remains the same, Samsung has added the ability to dictate responses to messages by tapping on the mic button that shows up before the template responses. This works with messaging apps such as Slack, Messenger, WhatsApp, etc., but not for emails, forcing me to open the Flip to complete tasks on the main display. The phone did not warm up much when playing games at high settings or while watching movies. It did get quite warm while recording videos outdoors, but not as much as the Galaxy S22, the Galaxy S22 Plus and the Galaxy S22 Ultra, which ran quite hot when using the camera app or when under load. Most of this could be attributed to the new processor, which is supposed to run cooler and more efficiently. Samsung appears to have retained the same camera setup as before, with two 12-megapixel sensors for the primary and the ultra-wide-angle cameras on the back, and a 10-megapixel camera embedded into the inner display for selfies. There is one minor change though, and it's to do with the primary camera. It now has a bigger sensor with a larger pixel size. The primary camera delivered good detail in daylight, colors were punchy, and the dynamic range was quite good provided there was enough light. The ultra-wide-angle camera shot decent photos, but with noticeable barrel distortion and purple fringing in the brighter areas, along with less detail around the edges. Close-ups of humans as well as objects came out with good detail, edge detection and blur. Selfies also came out well in all types of lighting conditions, but I preferred using the primary camera for selfies as they packed in more detail and appeared sharper. The camera also captured some crisp macro photos, but from a distance. When shooting in low light with either of the three cameras, the camera app automatically activated night mode, and this worked out really well. The primary camera shot crisp photos in streetlit scenes and showcased good detail with good dynamic range in dim lighting as well. The ultra-wide-angle camera managed good quality in streetlit scenes but could not capture much detail in dim light. Video quality was quite good across the board with good detail and stabilization at all shooting resolutions. Low-light video was surprisingly low on noise with good stabilization when shooting at 1080p or 4K at auto FPS. But 4K 60 FPS footage appeared noisy and lacked stabilization. Battery life was quite impressive for the fashion-forward smartphone that Samsung markets the Z Flip as. The bigger 3700 mAh battery and more power-efficient SoC meant that I didn't need to switch the battery performance profile to light mode with regular use. This phone often lasted me a whole day, including about an hour of gaming. With regular non-gaming use, the phone lasted me a little over a day, which makes it far more usable than the Flip 3, which barely lasted a day even with light usage. Charging the phone fully using a third-party 61W USB-PD charger took about 1 hour and 55 minutes, which is relatively slow compared to Samsung's flagships, but still quick enough for most people. Samsung's current flagship non-foldable phones like the Galaxy S22 Plus do offer better performance across the board at lower prices. But it's good to see how Samsung has managed to narrow the camera and general performance gaps between the two series this year. Motorola has only launched its new Razr 2022 in China, so Samsung has indeed taken it easy with its foldables this year. It has put in just enough effort to change or improve the parts of the previous Flip model that fell short. Everything else pretty much remains the same. With most of its issues from the Galaxy Z Flip 3 now fixed, the Galaxy Z Flip 4 sure is a unique foldable offering, not just for the fashion-forward buyer, but also for general users who are looking for something unique in the world of Android smartphones. I'm Sheldon Pinto, and that's it for our review of the Galaxy Z Flip 4. Do let us know what you think about the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 4 in the comments below. And as always, for all things tech, stay tuned to Gadgets360.com.